So in my last video, I platinumed the Crack Pet Show Happy Tree Friends edition, but Happy Tree Friends also has one more standalone game from back in the Xbox 360 arcade days, which means the game is sadly delisted, but I was able to get my hands on it so that I can get every achievement in Happy Tree Friends False Alarm. Now the whole concept of this game is shown right here in this tutorial where my happy tree friend walks along as I have to clear the path ahead of him with 4 moves, which are clicking, exploding, freezing, and then the final one which I used to get my very first achievement here, fire. Oh, run. Holy crap, I almost died. Well done, you've completed the tutorial. Beginner's luck. And we actually unlock a little episode now. Well, only half of it until later, so I'll get back into it once it's fully unlocked. But here we get introduced to the map and the whole 30 levels that I'll not only have to beat, but also get a gold rank on every single one of them. But before that, I had to get an understanding of how this game works, because unlike the tutorial, in the game I'll have 5 tree friends to take care of. And well, it started out pretty terribly, with me lighting all of them on fire. Oh, and I also lost this one in the grinder, but somehow I got the other 4 to the ending, which gave me enough points to get this. Silver. Damn, I got a silver? So the points are based on how fast you beat the level, and also how much damage you do to all of them along the way. So to get a gold on every level, I'll have to make sure to keep all 5 of them alive and make sure to get through as fast as possible. If even one of them dies, then no gold for me. And after a retry or 2 on this second level here, I was actually able to get that done and got through with all of them alive for my first of 30 golds to come. You're golden, 600,000 almost. And then for level 3, I accidentally got them all into a crazy massacre at the end here, and it kind of gave me a bronze because of it. But hey, at least it gets this achievement out of the way. Sweet smell of copper. And now that I had the first 3 levels down, I figured I should go for one of the more difficult achievements in the game. I had to go through all 3 of those levels without any of the Happy Tree friends getting hit even once. I mean, it didn't have to be in a row and I could retry levels, so that was good. And the first level went by super smooth. I just froze them when need be and took my time and actually got it first try. And same goes for the second level. I also zoomed my way through that one unharmed on the first try. But then the third one is where I got stumped. Getting them past this conveyor belt press combo is terrible. It was so hard to not get any of them squished, usually always on the very last one too. Oh my god. But I tried over and over again getting them squished repeatedly until about my 10th try in when I got super lucky for this run. Oh, holy crap, I did it. Holy crap. Oh, here we go. I should get the achievement now. Yes, I got it. Just what the doctor ordered. And there's actually an even harder one like that, where instead of full health, I have to get them through all 3 levels with less than 25% health, which is way more difficult. But I left that for after my next goal, which is to finish the first 15 levels of the game. And they of course start off fairly simple with just a few little obstacles. But to help me get gold, I can use fire behind them all, forcing them to run. And this game has some really janky mechanics sometimes, like this one running straight at the wall. And so on top of getting the golds, I also need to make sure I get 500,000 points per level, and gold's around 470,000 from my guesses. It wasn't too much of a difference, but these next 10 or so levels ended up taking me just under an hour to get through them all with a lot of trial and error, so I figured I'd just show the harder ones from this group, like this one that starts with swinging skeletons that were super difficult to avoid, and then this mechanic where you had to launch them to a new platform, but it only does a few at a time, which gets way worse later. But other than the mass amount of clicking here to destroy everything in the way, I was just about to make it to the end when this little guy decided he just wanted to run and swim in circles, costing me my gold. But luckily the final level was fairly simple. Well, except this crazy Ferris wheel at super speeds, but once I got through that, it was smooth sailing to the end for my next achievement. Piece of cake. There we go, 15 levels down, halfway there. So before I went through the last 15 levels, I decided to go for that other difficult achievement. So again, I went back to the very first 3 levels where I have to get through all 3 with under 25% health on every single one of them, which turned out to be a lot harder than I anticipated it to be. Well, I guess on the very first one I got more lucky than anything. On this very first obstacle, every single one of them got hit down to half health. Wow, that was perfect. All of them. I couldn't have been more perfect. Then from there, I just let them stand in the steam for a few seconds until they all turned blue. There we go, all of them are blue. Now I just have to get to the end without them dying or getting hurt even more. And then on my first try at level 2, everything was going good and I had them all at low health, right about to finish when all of a sudden the time ran out. But this one was also a lot easier, since I could just leave them all trapped in this area and burn them down to 25%. But just like on the other achievement, level 3 decided to give me quite the struggle. There wasn't really a good place to get them all low health here, and on top of that, those presses kept screwing me again. Oh my god, all 5 of them died. Holy crap, that's wild. I literally spent half an hour trying this same level non-stop over and over and over. I'd let some get squished and try burning them in the bucket, but that wouldn't work. And then I'd try to bring them all to the end and get them lower, but then they just run off and die. Or here's this try, when I had 4 of them through the finish line and was just trying to get the last one there when the bell rang. Oh no, the time's up, the time's up. Oh, I probably tried this a total of 40 times before I finally figured it out. Come the fuck on. I can't freeze in there. Oh my god. And the winning method ended up being to let them get hit and burnt along the way and then freeze them all at the end while I used this here grinder to carefully grind them one by one, which was kind of sketchy because I'd have to freeze them and send them back if they were low enough. And I got so lucky at the end here when I finally got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, that was so close. That was the closest thing ever. Please give me the achievement. Oh, there it is. Holy crap, the last drop. That took me like 40 minutes. Let's go. But now I had to go back and finish those last 15 levels of the game, making sure to get a gold and get above 500k on all of them, which I found out after I needed to get 600,000 on them all for yet another achievement, but I left that for later. And these levels really ramped up the obstacles and the pain, like these damn samurai swords that would one-hit kill from full health. And this is also where I started to get a lot more launch pads that I'd have to use to travel. Or even moving platforms that I'd have to go across. But one of the worst new things is radiation. It would absolutely obliterate all of the happy tree friends if I got stuck in a room with it. But I was definitely getting good at the game now, and it made me realize that it didn't really matter if the happy tree friends got hit too much. The timer mattered way more for points than damage did. Well, unless one died, of course. But for the last of these 15 levels, they somehow got even sketchier and started with all the animals being on separate platforms for the beginning. But after about an hour of going through all of these levels, I had finally gotten to the very last one right here. Alright, I can't expect this to be easy. Oh, that was so close. Just skinned it. Why is this so easy? It's gotta be super long or something. Run! Oh, come on, please. Gold, gold, yes! That should give me 3 achievements now. Last level in the game done. I did those levels fast on the first 15 at least. 3 for 80 Gs. Score at least 500,000 in every level. Give yourself a hand. That's a wrap. Unlock the second part of the movie. And the Midas touch. Achieve a gold award on each level. But now there's only 2 achievements left for me to get. But first we finally unlocked the full episode now, which shows Nutty being the candy fiend he is, paying for a dump truck full to be dumped on him. Which leaves him half alive full of candy and then even gets him locked in a white room until he's finally rehabilitated. But his dealers can't let that happen, so they get him hooked on video games instead. And then he stays inside season after season, never leaving, just gaming. But once his system fries, he steps outside finally to go on a murderous rampage, killing and destroying everything in sight. And then once he's done, he realizes he's destroyed all the video games too, only to go back to being a candy fiend. And well, now that story time is over, we can run through those last 2 achievements. Starting with me having to go through and get even better scores on every single level, because I needed a total of 18 million career score from the 17.2 I had, which is also just an average of 600k per level, but there's a few levels where I got crazy scores, like 650,000 plus, so that cancelled out a bit. But I literally just had to spend the next hour in some speed running every single level that had any extra wiggle room at all to get some points. A little 20,000 extra here, or maybe a good 80,000 extra here, and some of them were actually pretty tight on requirements, meaning fast as possible while not getting hit, just to barely even get the 600. But I'd say I was pretty good at the game at this point, so it wasn't too bad. And I just kept getting every extra bit of points I could until I finally hit the last level where I had this reaction to winning. Oh, come on, that was a fat one. This might be it. This might be the 18 million. I'm less than 4,000 away. Oh no. Okay, come on. There's no way I don't get 4,000 extra points here. Come on. Come on, give me my 18 million. Yes! You da bomb. Now this final achievement I specifically saved for last since it's just so fitting for a Happy Tree Friends game. I had to burn a total of 200 Happy Tree Friends to death, which was really easy. I just had to use this level where they're all trapped in the starting room and burned away. But after 200 crispy tree friends later, I finally had gotten to my last achievement. Hey, playing with fire. There we go. 200 burnt tree friends. That took a bit over half an hour. So that was every achievement in the Happy Tree Friends false alarm. Definitely a cool cool 100% to add to the collection. And if you enjoyed the video, hook up a like down below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I also have another Happy Tree Friends Platinum video right here. But thank you so much for watching and have a great day.